So here, as you can see, the background, it's not quite a Koh Samui background. This is downtown LA. This is the big pond. This is the small fish in the big pond, right? But the difference is, Koh Samui is a tiny little tropical island, right? You can be this big dog doing, you know, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12k a month in commissions. You can come here and do that and you're no one. And Samui, you're someone, right? So you swap this, your mind starts to evolve in a certain way. You're not that same person anymore. Now you have gone from this like relatively big guy in your own mind on this small island to now literally being like no one. And you think in your own mind, well, how can I evolve? How can I become this person that I need to be to step up to that next level? So it got me thinking in terms of, well, what did I do at the start? So what I wanted to do in this video is provide you with a very basic 3-step formula to at least give you something to go off so that you can continue to push in the right direction. So the way that we'll describe it is almost like we're building a house, right? But you're building your life. Your life is this house. The bottom is the foundations. Then you build, then you refine. So if we focus on the foundations, what you'd be looking at is writing your goals exactly as they should be. So let's imagine 5 years down the line, you're thinking ahead, everything goes as smoothly as possible, no hiccups, no bumps, nothing at all. You imagine everything goes perfectly, exactly as you planned it, and you write that pen to paper. But you write it as if you're already experiencing it. I am doing this, I am on a private jet, I am bringing my family on this private jet, the seats are this colour, it makes me feel like this, I'm wearing this cologne, I'm wearing this aftershave, I'm wearing these clothes. And your brain can't tell the difference, it can't determine the difference between reality nor imagination. So then if you combine the two, what you get is something that's extremely powerful, because you start to experience the emotions of something that is happening in your mind that hasn't happened in the real life world. It's only happened in the internal world, which I would argue is actually more infinite than the actual world itself, right? So you start to write all of this stuff down. Then what happens is you start to create this version of you, this life that you haven't yet achieved. It's already existing now. So that's how you begin to change your frequency, because what happened to me was I started to experience all of the present emotions that I would have felt at that point in time while sitting in my bedroom at my desk writing it pen to paper, right? So then this is the foundation. Now you have a buzz, now you have a feeling to go off, now you have fuel to the fire, right? It was lit before, but now you just poured motherfucking petrol all over it, and now it's burning up. So the second part of this 3-step process is the building, right? So now you've got the foundations, everything is laid out in place. You now have the building. This is the gathering of knowledge and the application of knowledge, because you can gather all of the knowledge in the world, and if you don't apply it, then it's fucking useless. But if you start to apply this knowledge day in, day out, just every single day, just turning up, you don't have to do loads, but the point is that you're turning up, then you start to create momentum, right? Then the fire starts to spread. It's not just burning high, but now it's burning wide. The house is now not just built on a foundational level, but now you're building it brick by brick by brick, and you're gathering momentum, and every single day you're working towards this end goal, regardless of how far away that it seems. So as the house starts to build, you also start to grow. Yeah, you're building yourself, you're building your physique, you're building your mind, you're building your attributes. Your finances might not come straight away. The likelihood is that they probably won't. If they do, then brilliant. But the likelihood is that they probably won't. It will take a little while for that part to catch up. But if you just start to work with everything that you have in your own mind, then what you'll eventually see is that your mind will be so far ahead that your life just gradually catches up. And that's how the building process works. It's the gathering and it's the application. When you combine the two with the foundations in place, now you're starting to create waves, yeah? You're starting to really manifest this into your own life. And this is where it all comes down to in terms of that certainty. Like, you know who you're going to become. You know this version of you is there, and you're slowly building towards it. So you don't really give a fuck about your current circumstance, because everything else is slowly coming into your life bit by bit by bit. And you have to be aware. You have to realize that these things are coming. And when they do come, you have to be grateful for them, right? Because otherwise you're just going to be on this negative frequency, thinking about what you don't have, what you want, rather than appreciating everything that's already coming and everything that's already on the way. So once you've mastered these 2 steps, the third bit is the refining. the mastery. You've already got the skills, you're applying the skills, you've built the foundations. If you think of it in terms of that house still, if we continue in that same analogy, now you're thinking the interior design, the windows, the doors, the driveway. You're really starting to piece it all together, and then that's when you start to create serious waves. It's the law of compound, right? You start to focus on one area of your life, and slowly it starts to build up into the other areas. So you put effort into one, you put energy, intention into one area, it will spill over into the next, and it will spill over into the next. And as it gradually grows, everything else will grow. Your physique will grow, your mind will grow, your financial situation will grow. And then you start to change your location, right? Then that's where you start to build multiple houses, because you're putting yourself in multiple locations, allowing yourself to grow in different ways, because you're meeting people with completely different upbringings, completely different perceptions, and they're bringing you to a new height of awareness that you didn't even realize that you had internally. So now all of a sudden you're refreshed, you're feeling good, you're on a higher frequency, because you're just experiencing all of these other things. I started in Koh Samui and I was there for 3 months. Now I'm in LA, and this is completely different. Like, look at this. This is like, you don't even believe that this is real. You look at this and it's like, literally feels like GTA. You see all of these motherfuckers popping wheelies on bikes and shit as you're going past. And it's just not quite the same as normal life anymore. Nothing will ever be the same, because now you realize the potentialness of who you want to become. But you can't just do this once, because once you achieve that first step, once you achieve the foundations, you'll be, a bit of ego might take over, right? And you'll be thinking like, fuck, I've already achieved so much. But the likelihood is that you haven't. When you build the first house, you can't just stop there. That's what happened to me. I stopped after the first house and just settled in. And then everything starts, the house deconstructs itself, right? It starts to remove itself brick by brick. So staying consistent and just applying those 1% days, even if it's just 1%, moving the needle ever so slightly, will really start to generate you huge traction in what you want to do. So that's my quick 5-minute 3-step formula on how to change your life. I hope this works, and I hope this background is fucking sick, because it looks awesome. So I hope the camera picks it up. So yeah.